What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning into my channel, My Miraculous Life. My name is Michael Paul, Mike Peasy, whatever you know me as. I just want to tell you, I'm wearing this mask. You know why? Because I'm afraid to get you infected. That's right. I have the knowledge virus, and I'm going to infect you with it today. Are you ready? That's right. I know I wore a mask, right? Seriously. I just want to tell you, that's right, you, the people out there driving around in your car with your mask on and the windows up, you shouldn't be allowed to vote. All right. The name of today's video is, check this out. You're going to like it. I like it. Ooh. That's the bus. You ready to catch the bus? The bus of knowledge. This is the magic school bus, right? I know, right? Okay. So, as we were, the name of today's video is a worrier or a warrior. That's right. It's all in the title, right? It's pretty self-explanatory. So without further ado, drum roll please. Brrr. Let's go ahead and break it down. Worriers or warriors. So there's two kinds of people that can be classified in these two categories, right? And chances are you find yourself in both of them. But we tend to swim in one pool a little bit longer than the other pool, or in the shallow side rather than the deeper side. So I'm about to break it down for you right now and try to get us to figure out which one are we? And which one do we aspire to be? And how do we get there? Okay, here we go. Worriers. See, worriers tend to be people that have this overly extreme ideas that like they have to be in control. That's pretty much what it is, isn't it? The gist of it all is that we love to be in control of all aspects of our life. Whether you're a parent, whether you're in a marriage, whether you're a child of somebody, obviously we all are. But we have these sort of like want to help control, like we gotta have our say in the decision or the choices, right? That's how we are as human beings, and some of us can't afford to not have that control. So when we don't have that control, or we tend to overly think about things, we always go in this negative gray area, and that's what leads to worrying. See, we worry about how we're gonna do this, how we're gonna get this done, how is this gonna be paid, is it gonna be in the future, am I gonna get the virus? It's like we worry so much about everything in life that it's really just because we can't control the outcome of this, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, please. What's another reason a person worries? Okay, they worry because you don't realize it, but growing up, somebody put a lot of fears in you, and you're always afraid. You're afraid of, it started off with little shadows at night when you were kids, or if you saw horrible things growing up as a kid, maybe your parents fighting, maybe you saw abuse on another level, and you became fearful. And so when you became afraid of all these things that you saw growing up, or you had happen to you, or somebody hurt you physically, somebody hurt you emotionally, kind of scarred you for like your entire life, even right now. So when those things happen to us in life, it always reverts back to, I'm not going to let this happen to me again, and I'm going to avert the situation at all costs by being in control. So what do you gain from worrying? For those of us out there that are constant worriers, that things that haven't even happened yet in the future, or might not even happen, you tend to overly worry about, and you're just so focused on it that it takes away from what the moment of joy is in your life. What do you gain? Is there something that I'm missing here that worrying is helping you with? I have a lot of family members that are worriers. Like, they worry about everything, and it eats me up from a distance to be able to watch this, and they're just constantly worried about what's going to be the solution, what's going to be the outcome, but they don't ever want to do anything to change it or to get there, right? They're just stuck in this pessimistic, negative mindset all of the time, and it's heartbreaking sometimes, because even if you try to help them and give them advice, they just wham right out the other ear. And so what good does it gain for us to worry? You know, I don't know. I'm really trying to figure that out, because it just seems to be like it's like a cancer that eats you up with time, and then eventually it's like you've changed, or let's change it into like a zombie virus, right? Like a crazy zombie virus. And you become numb, dead, unwilling to have a heart of compassion for strangers in the world, for our loved ones, and even sometimes, most of the time, it's for yourself. You lose all that, and you walk around. All right. Anyway, okay. Let's go to the other side. You ready? What about a warrior? What's a warrior? See, I always think of one person when I think of the word warrior. Some people may think of like some sort of boxing story where like he's like, oh, he wants him with the knockout. And he became the warrior. No, it could be. I don't know. Some people think of like, obviously like a shield and a sword, and they're ready to go to battle. What's a warrior? Are you a warrior? See, if you just look at it like from a physical aspect of like, yeah, I'm really not the guy that puts on a chest of armor every day, and then I go try to fight people and conquer stuff. On a video game, I do. But what about being a warrior in life? Are you a warrior? Do you fight for what you believe in? There's only one person that I think of every time when I hear the word warrior. And no, I'm not going to say Jesus. Although that's, man, y'all already know. Okay, I'm talking about King David. King David was a warrior. Like, he's the actual second king of Israel, but he's the renowned king, the one that everybody bases everything off of. They put their star, the Jewish star, that is the Star of David, right? So David was a warrior, and I read so much about him. We obviously know the story of David and Goliath. Now, a warrior, this is the difference. You can be a tyrannical king, and you can be a self-compulsive and self-absorbed and all those horrible attributes that you don't want part of your personality. And then that would make you a bad warrior, right? A bad king. See, David was humble. If we look back to the beginning before he became the king, and what he got known for was killing the giant, right? David didn't get up that morning and say, you know what? I'm going to go murder somebody today. They got to me today. No, he went with humility. His job was to play the harp for the king that was in distress. And I'm pretty sure he had like the lowest of the totem pole jobs. Like he had to be the one that's passing out towels or giving out drinks of water to people, or trying to pass around plates of food so that all the soldiers are happy and fed before they go into battle. See, that morning, when he heard the bully and the arrogance, he stayed quiet for but a second, but when he heard them insult what he stood up for and what he believed in, and he never forgot that day when he was super young, and he was anointed with oil, and he was foretold to be the future king of Israel, right? And his family didn't believe it. His brothers, all of his brothers that thought that they were the one, that they were going to be successful, that they were going to be somebody. They didn't expect the little runt that took care of the sheep to be the king one day. Come on. So he was humble. He was very humble. And when he heard the giant just insult and demean what he stood for, what his forefathers fought for, he couldn't take it. And when the challenge was issued and nobody answered the call, he said, I will do it. See, he didn't fear death. Didn't think that once. You want to know why he didn't think that? Because he knew that calling. He knew that that day had come to fruition, and that if there was any opportunity to show what he was made from, what cloth he was cut from, if God's promise is true, he trusted it. And he didn't look for the fight. Understand that. A true warrior does not go looking for a fight with anybody. But sometimes the fight comes to you, and you need to know how to handle it. As a warrior, a humble warrior. And you best believe that you didn't start that fight, but God is with you, and you are going to finish that fight. So we all know the part where he pulls out the slingshot, slings it around, chucks it, boom, hits his cranium, probably cracks his skull. But what the part they don't mention to us all the time is where he runs and cuts off the giant's head, picks it up, and shows it to the opposing army. And that is when the rest of the soldiers charged at them. So, I'm here to tell you, are you a warrior? Are you willing to sometimes realize that you have to fight for what you believe in? And that you have to know that just like when David was anointed as a kid and putting the oil on his head, foretelling that he was destined for a greater future, I am anointing you that's watching this video right now in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, that you have a calling, that you are destined for something great, and that you are chosen for a time such as this in the world. At 11:11, I told you that in the video. But I'm here to tell you, sometimes a warrior doesn't look for the fight. You don't, but it is brought to you. And how you choose to fight your circumstances and your problems in life, and how you choose to take on the world, take on yourself, self-discipline, self-love yourself. Man, there's nothing that you can't accomplish. There is nothing that can stop you. But the part that saddens me is that if you worry, you lose your warrior-esque. You lose your battle-ready mindset, and you get swept away. Man, I'm gonna help you see clearer here right now. You are a warrior, or you're a warrior. See, the key to being a warrior relies in trust. Trust in the Almighty. Trust in something that you don't have with your own two hands. I mean, you could try to attain everything you want in this world, in this lifetime, with your own two hands, because after all, it's your body, it's your mind, it's your life. Or you could trust that your life is not your own, that there's a greater plan for your life, and I tell you this all the time. Or you could warrior away your days. See, Jesus said, what good does worrying do for you? There's not one thing you can change about tomorrow. There's nothing you can change about yesterday. All you have is today and right now. See, if the birds don't worry about what they're gonna eat, or the foxes don't have to worry about where they're going to sleep, then how much more does God love you than these animals around us? Think about that. How much does God love you? He loves you so much more than just these created animals, because you're made in His image. You are His child. And I have children, and I love them. And I wanted to explain to them the same thing why I chose this background. I chose this background right here because it's an anchor. It's an anchor. And depending on how you view life, and how you handle your problems and uphold yourself, and how you choose to be, that anchor can be viewed as something good or something awful. See, the warriors, they're wanderers. They're just wandering the desert, wandering the ocean. And they need an anchor. They need something to solidify their persona, their life, to have a reason, to have a purpose. Otherwise, you're just wandering lost, trying to figure it out. Where you're going to land, if there's land around you, if there's life around you, if there's something more to it than just being lost and wandering. And then there's the other side, we're the warriors. See, the warriors, they're worshipped, right? They sing songs of greatness about them. People tell tall tales of them. It's crazy to me how we idolize all these athletes on another level, as if they have the definitive idea and opinion to our lives. And they're worshipped as if they are warriors. But no, they get cut a paycheck from a company, a corporation, based out of another continent. Come on. A warrior fought for nothing but honor. And so what do you honor in your life? What do you value for your life? Because that is what you must fight for. If you hold shallow and inanimate objects that can be lost within a second, then your life has really no meaning, does it, when it's gone or broken? But if you stand for valor, if you stand for strong morals, and if you identify yourself and you put that solid foundation, you will know where your anchor sits. You will know where you're at on the map. See, warriors are not here to be worshipped, because warriors worship themselves. And that's why I'm telling you about David. David conquered many lands throughout all of Israel, right? Like so tells us the Bible. But it's because he worshipped God. He wasn't there for the praise and glory of patting himself on the back, how great am I? No, it was never enough, because he knew that he wasn't doing it unto himself. It wasn't for his own purpose. I mean, he could have easily stayed at half of the map that he had conquered and said he was a great king. But he didn't do it for his own glory. He did it for God's glory. And so for your life, I'm here to tell you, do it for God's glory. Be a warrior who worships. Don't be a warrior that wanders. That's it. That's the end of the video. And I hope that you do take this into perspective and that you do listen to what I'm saying, because it's only coming from a place of love. I said it last video. You know why I'm all up in your face? It's because you're all up in my heart. God gives me ideas to tell you how much he loves you. Like, that's the best feeling, to know that I can convey a message of hope to somebody that needs to hear it right now. And thank you for staying till the end of the video. And I mean that from my heart. Thank you for all those that actually subscribed and go on to my YouTube channel. Thank you for the people that actually sit through all these videos on Instagram and they leave with feeling blessed. Because I really feel like you are the chosen ones. God's speaking to you. God's going to move in your life. Trust me, he's not abandoning you.